Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Yeah, man. If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime, in the between time, I'm going to give some shouts out to the early birds, starting with Dun, Dun, Dun. Ken Thomas, what up? Who is that? Jay Derry. Jay Derry, what up? Gretchen? Will Dixon. Gabriel. What's up, Gabriel? Is that Anna Fisher? Anna Fisher. Let's see. What's up, Ray Ray? J7 Son. What up? What up? What it do? Rosalianne? No. Rosalia Nelson. There we go. I saw China in here somewhere. What's up, Lexi? Happy birthday. Happy 19. Starts getting. Let's see. There go China. What's up, China Carter? Connie Harge. Connie Harge. What's up, Connie? Buck Horse. What it do? Turn that cap lock off. See, Buck Horse, he just bucking. He just gonna put the cap off. He already know the rules, but he gonna break them anyway. African Pride. What up? Sandra. What's up? What's up? What's up? I am Talia. What's up? All right, fam. Michael Wayne, I see you. Let's get into it, fam. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Ah, man. Donald Trump, your president, he ain't feeling too good lately, fam. There's a new poll out that has ranked Donald Trump as the absolute worst president in the history of civilization. He's the worst president ever. Well, they say in America, they say in American history, they say American history, he's the worst. But I'm going to take it further than that, man. I say he's the worst president in the history of civilization by far. He can't never, none of y'all better not never, ever, ever talk about how African leaders are grifting their country. You better not never say nothing about it. I'm talking about all y'all who riding for Trump. I'm talking about the ones who out there riding for Trump. You better not never say nothing bad about an African leader stealing from their own people, stuffing their pockets while their people starve. This dude he's the poster child for it. Trump's approval ratings is plummeting, with this key voting bloc never been weaker. Trump's approval rating is plummeting with this key voting bloc. Never been weaker. President Donald Trump. Let me back up. Donald Trump, your president, is breaking the wrong kind of records as he heads into the first State of the Union address of his second term, according to CNN polling. Trump, whose job approval stands at a dismal 36%, also has the worst net approval rating heading into the State of the Union in either of his two terms. In 2018 and 2019, Trump's net approval rating was negative 15 points and negative 20 points in 2020. How in the hell you get a negative? Yeah. So anyway, fam, that's that. That's that. I want to bring something to your attention, though. I want to bring something to your attention. See, in Trump's first term, at the end of his first term in December, he got news of his dismal approval ratings then. And it wasn't at all polite, fam. Oh, in fact, one might say it was horrible. Yeah. Let's go back, fam. This aged really well. How voters ranked Trump a historically bad president. He was historically bad in 2020. But yet, some way, these uncivilized mutts went out and voted for him anyway. Now, I'm not saying because you voted for him, that's why he got in. Nothing is going to convince me that Elon Musk didn't help him fix the election. I believe the election was rigged. I do believe that there are millions of uncivilized mutts out there who would vote for him, but I don't think it's that many. I don't think we have 81 million uncivilized mutts in America. I was checking out his Truth Social a few days ago, and he barely has 11 million followers on his Truth Social. It's his network, and he only has 12. He's close to 12 million followers. If it's his network and he got 81 million people following him already, 81 million people voting for him, I mean, he should at least have half of that following him because, they're maniacs and, they're cult followers. So he should at least have that many people following him. He should at least have half. And also he should have people following him who are not supporters of his just because he's the president and they're trying to stay in the loop on his actions, right? So he should have way more than 12 million people following him. I'm surprised they didn't cook the books. I'm surprised they're not out there manipulating those numbers because they will. I'm very surprised. Perhaps they did manipulate the numbers. Instead of having 11 million followers, he probably ain't got but 4 or 5 million. And they cooked the books on the other 5 or 6. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, check this article out, family, from December 20th, 2020. Poll of the week. A new Fox News poll finds that 42% of voters, that's just 6 points down from 6 points up from this term. A new Fox News poll finds that 42% of voters say history will remember President Donald Trump as one of the worst presidents ever. An additional 8% says he will be remembered as below average, while 22% say one of the greatest, 16% say above average, and 10% say below average. I'm surprised that that number isn't high. I think, remember though, this is a Fox News poll. And Fox is famous for faux news. They're famous for fake news and swinging from Donald Trump's disco balls. So I think the numbers are even higher. I think probably about 75, 80, 90% of people believe that he was below average because he is. Everything about him says below average. Okay, so what's the point? With the Trump presidency coming to a close, historians and Americans alike are starting to put Trump in historical perspective. How they think of him now versus in a few years may change. Still, it's very clear that historians and a lot of voters believe history will remember Trump as one of the worst ever, while a not insignificant amount will see him as one of the best ever. Pollsters have been asking Americans about how history will take stock of different presidents at the end of their presidencies since Gerald Ford. No president has garnered as many strong negative feelings as Trump. The only president who came even close to getting as many low ratings in a 5-category question was George W. Bush in a Gallup poll at the end of his presidency. 36% say he would go down as a poor president. Well, you know how bad Trump has to be as a president? He has to be so bad that he makes George W. Bush look good. He makes people look at George W. Bush and say, I'd rather have him. I'd rather have him back than have Trump. Right now, I'll take him. I'll take him. Anybody but Trump. That's what I say. Anybody but, well, J.D. Vance. Oh, man, his cabinet. Nah. Anybody but Trump and the people that's right next to him or something like that. You know, something along those lines. Horrible. Just a horrible choice for president. Nevertheless, here we are. You know, he really don't like those numbers. He made the Gallup poll stop doing Gallup polls. They said that they would no longer do Gallup polls on the president. But you know, as soon as he's out, they're going to bring it back. I think a lot of things are going to be restored to normalcy when he leaves office. I think a lot of those buildings that got his name on them because he got them, he pretty much got them. He pretty much hijacked the country. A lot of names that a lot of these places that has his name, they're gonna take those names off. A lot of those buildings. But then again, maybe not. You know, like I say, they're all in cahoots. They're all on the same side. And if they wasn't, he would not have been able to get this far. He wouldn't have been able to get this far because we already know no Democrat would have ever been able to get this far and do all the things that he's been able to do and get away with it unchecked. Think about it, fam. Not only could Barack not have done that, Biden wouldn't have been able to get away with it. You know, and primarily because the Democratic Party, they don't ride like that. They don't stick together like that. You know, they too busy trying to ride a high horse and all of that when they need to understand what type of foe that they're up against. But then again, once again, I think that they know, and certain members of Congress is in on the gig, you know, in on the jig. I think they're in on it because I wouldn't allow it. I'd shut them down. I'd shut all of that down. So you got people that's saying, well, you know, it's the CNN poll, you know, what you expect. Well, Fox News also said he was the worst. You know, their poll, well, they didn't use the word that he was the worst, but they did say that his numbers were really dismal. He was way down. That's Fox News. What kills me is when they say he's a businessman. Anybody doing business is a businessman. Hell, you're a businessman. If you're doing business, you're a businessman. Doing business is simply making a transaction, usually for goods, money for goods and services. An exchange of goods and services. That's typically doing business. So anybody can be a business person. Is he a good businessman? No. He's left too many of his investors holding the bag. He can't be a good businessman. He gets money for himself, but a good business deal is when both sides get some money. When both sides walk away with the trappings. Yeah, they should let me conduct that poll. You know what? I think I'm going to conduct me a poll anyway. I think I'm going to conduct a poll right now. I need to know, family. I need to know this. This is the Willie D Live poll. I need to know this right here. Do you believe that Trump, when he dies, is going to go to heaven? Give me a thumbs up if you think Trump's going to go to heaven when he dies. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man, he going straight to hell. He going to hell. He can't be saved. No way possible. Let's see what y'all saying, man. Let's see what y'all saying. Hell, if CNN can conduct a poll, I can conduct a poll. Mario down. Hand down, man down. China down. Willie Carson down. Who was that? T. Sassis? TSN down. Shelton down. Mr. Bird sounds down. Ray, you think he's going to heaven? That can't be. Can't be. That's got to be an imposter. E. Williams down. Sylvius down. Santiago down. Fred down. Cameron down. There go Ray. That's what I'm talking about. Rollo down. Ray down. Cyrus down. Michael Franks down. You go, Bina? You go. Down. Les Duval down. Mobius down. Demetrius down. Celia down. All right, fam. It's unanimous. It's unanimous. Everybody in the chat thinks Trump going to hell when he died. Everybody thinks he's going straight to hell. Y'all think he's going to hell. Going to hell. How you gonna be the worst ever? I'm like, how can you be okay with living like that? How can you be okay with being the worst ever? Worst ever anything, in anything. To be the worst at anything that has merit. How can you be okay with being the worst, the absolute worst? I'm not really good at basketball, but I ain't the worst. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to be the worst. I'm never going to, man, if I start right now doing some masonry work, all you got to do is show me what to do, show me how to do it, and I'm going to catch on like that. And before you know it, I'm going to be doing it better than some people that do it for a living. Because I take pride in what I do. So I'm not about to be the worst. If I play Scrabble, I don't care who I'm playing against. I'm not going to be the worst. I'm not finished last. I'm not going to finish last. I got to, I got to beat out somebody, man. I'm not going to be last. I will not be last. And really, most time when I play Scrabble, I finish one or two, So the trip part about it is like when I play Scrabble, right? A lot of times I play Scrabble with like engineers and lawyers. I play Scrabble with doctors. And they oftentimes are very arrogant when they sit down with me because they be in their mind, I'm just a rapper. So they, in their minds, they do not think that I have a deep vocabulary. So they'll be cocky about it. I remember one time we played, me and my kid's mom, we used to have like these people over the house, like maybe once a week, once a month. We'd have people come over to the house and stuff, and we play Scrabble. And we won everything. We never lost, right? But sometimes these guys, they would come over and they get really, really personal. When in the beginning, they'd be talking real cocky, thinking they finna just win, and they get shut down. So one of these dudes was an engineer. And, he's one of them dudes I ain't gonna call him arrogant, but he's just really, 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 really confident, right? So we slaughter him and his wife. His wife was an engineer also. We slaughter. My kid's mom is an engineer, right? So we slaughter him and his wife. His wife take it well. She just like, oh, well, But he damn near didn't even want to speak when he left the house. He was hot. So he couldn't wait for a rematch. So when he came back, I knew he was going to be looking for a rematch. So when he came back, the idea was to beat him even worse, right? And that's what happened. We beat him even worse the next time. And that's the last time he visited us. Boy, he was hot too. Boy, he was hot. He's one of them little dudes that wear glasses, little short dude wear glasses, studious type dude, like one of them dudes who think he's smarter than everybody else in the room. He was one of those types. They don't understand that. I make a living with words. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually make a living using words. And so, and I wasn't using no mumble rap words, you go back and listen to them GB records and things of that nature. Go back, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, I smashed that boy bad. Boy, that boy was hot about that loss. He was real hot. And to this day, last time I saw him, he actually came to my party. I had a party last year, and I hadn't seen him in about 20 years. So I think he was still hot about that loss. I think because he took a big L twice. I think he was still hot about it. Nevertheless, yeah. Just a little old story I had to share with y'all real quickly, fam. But yeah, Trump is not taking this news of him being the worst president ever lightly. He might try to start a war, fam. He might jump out there with a war just to get, he'll at this point now, he done got so much money. He's still on the quest to get more and more money, right? He want more money, more power. But if he can do something where people can brag on him and give him credit for something, he'll do it. So if he can go out there and start a war and like beat up on Iran or something like that, if he can get some credit like that, he don't care if he gets some cheap points. He don't care about that. He just wants some points. Any kind of way he can get it. That's why I said that he might start another war after getting the news that he was the worst, voted the worst president in U.S. history. The worst president in U.S. history. That's, how many presidents was that? That was 46 presidents? 46 presidents. And he's the worst ever. Damn. Yeah, so he's hot about that. He's hot right now. So if anybody out there working in Secret Service, man, y'all just stay out of his way. Y'all know how he is. Just stay out of his way. Don't say nothing out of line. You know, anybody in the cabinet, just get out the way. Don't say nothing to him. Because you know he might go out there, he might go into the panic room and push a button or something. You know, ain't no telling. You know, because he want a W any kind of way he can get it. So y'all be careful with him. That dude hot. He hot about that. He's hot about that poll. Yeah. No president, absolutely no president has garnered as many strongly negative feelings as Trump. Say the only president to come close was George W. Bush. And you know you got to be a really, really bad. Some of y'all may not be old enough to remember when George Bush left the Oval Office on his last day, and he had to get on that helicopter. He got to get on that helicopter, him and Laura, and you know, they hopped on what do you call that helicopter? Whatever the name of that presidential helicopter. They got on that thing and we went off, and people were singing "Hit the Road, Jack." I was at the inauguration when they was doing it. It was like, "Hit the road, Jack." I said they was doing it. I was saying it too. "Hit the road, Jack. Don't come back no more." We were so relieved. We was like, man, this country finna make a turn for the better. Womp, womp, womp. Next thing you know, who we got? The worst of the absolute worst. This dude make George Bush look like one of the best. And George Bush is probably happy that Trump came along, because now he don't have that distinction of being the worst president ever. His name is removed from that list. He's not the worst anymore. He might be okay. He's probably really, really happy about Trump coming along, even though he don't like Trump. He's still probably like looking at Trump like a blessing in disguise, because had Trump not come along, Bush would still be known as the worst president in U.S. history, at least one of the worst. He wasn't a shoo-in for being the worst, but Trump is. Oh man, ain't nobody remotely close. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.